Hi, in this video I wanted to look at a couple of tricks for working on a kick drum in an EDM track. In particular, I want to add a little bit more bass to the kick drum, but without making it too subby and focusing on the sine wave gating trick. I want to use something that's sort of a bit more organic and from the actual song itself. So in this case I'm going to use the bass as the bass source for the kick drum trigger. So let's try this. Here's a quick little listen to the song. Okay, so mixing the kick and bass together, the first thing I'm going to do, and I've just tried this before, was just adding a little bit of track spacer, which is just going to pull a little bit of the bass frequencies out of this bass track to allow room for the kick drum. And it's a good little way of getting a little extra clarity sort of in that low end and making room for one another. But the thing I wanted to focus on was gating this. Now, the first method you've probably seen in other videos is using a sine wave in order to add a little extra bass to this kick drum. If we solo the kick on its own, and let's say we want to add a little extra low end, sort of 50, 60, somewhere in that kind of range. Well, one thing you could do is add a sine wave and a gate. What I thought I might try is actually adding a bass synth and sort of blending a little bit of bass synth with the sound. The problem with this is it's really hard to kind of dial in a sound that really works, but you can try it. In some situations it might be cool. What I did is just create one big long bass note, in this case an alchemy synth. And what we'll do then is gate that synth so that you'll only hear that synth every time the kick is played. The trick is to choose a note that sort of works with the key of the song. I settled on something kind of low, and that would sort of work basically. Throw the gate on it. And set the sidechain to my kick track. I've got these set really quick. You can dial these in a little bit later, but I don't really want to hear too much of the tone. I just want to add some of those low bass frequencies. So additionally, I added a little bit of cut to the top and a little bit of bass boost down the bottom end here. Just for your reference, in context with the song. But you can hear a little bit of that tone there, and it's hard to always make it fit with the song. So my next thought was, okay, well, why don't I try actually making a copy of the bass? So I'm just going to hold down Option, drag this bass down, and create two bass tracks effectively. This isn't so important for this one, so I'll turn that off. And the next thing I'm going to do is simply just add that gate. Its sidechain is the same, the kick drum. Notice fairly quick attack and release. And let's try that. Okay, then add a little extra EQ. What I want to do is filter out some of the high frequencies and really give that little low end a little bit of a thump. You really hear that sort of coming alive now. So what I probably have to do is sort of try and even that out. Some notes are jumping out at me a bit louder than others. It'll depend on acoustics and a few other things why I hear it that way. But I'll probably just put a little light compressor on it. Try and keep it pretty consistent. Still a few notes there need tidying up, but let's hear it in sort of context. Okay, so it needs a little bit of work to fine tune it. That's a matter of getting the attack and release just right. I might find that another gate might be a better option, and a little bit of evening out. So I think I still need some fine tuning on the EQ and compression to really to nail that and get it nice and consistent. I want each note to have the relatively the same amount of bass. But hopefully that gives you some interesting ideas to play with anyway. So good luck, have fun.